Hello, good morning, children. How are you all? Fine? Very good. Children, myself, Neeta Miss from Sri Dashmish Public School. Teacher is going to take your English subject today. Okay, children? But like daily, we are going to remember God before we start our studies. So children, like good students, join your hands. Close your eyes and listen to the prayer. Okay, children, come on. Bless us, O Lord, throughout this day, while at school, at home, and play. Help us to love and not to hate. Bless our country, people, state, and me. Thank you. God bless you all, children. You all can open your eyes now. Okay, and sit straight. Now, children, tell me one thing. Are you all interested to listen a story? Do you all like to listen story? Yes, children. Actually, everyone loves and likes to listen interesting stories. So, children, today I'm going to tell you a very interesting story. But for that, children, you all will have to sit straight and listen. Okay? Now, children, this is the story of the noble stag. Now, children, what does stag mean? Who is this stag? Stag is the male deer. Okay, you know the animal deer? Have you seen? Yes, children. So, the male deer is called stag. So, this is the story of stag and the king. This is the story of the stag and the king. Okay. Now, children, what does noble means? Noble means noble, N-O-B-L-E, noble. Noble means very kind. Okay. So now, children, I'm going to show you presentation. Okay, so you look at the pictures and I'm going to narrate the story to you all. Okay, children? Come on, pay attention to the screen. I'm going to share it now. Okay, online education, standard third, subject English. Next, lesson number 32, the noble stag. As I said, stag is the male deer and noble means very generous and kind fellow. Okay, King Brahmadatta. Can you see the picture of king? Yes, the name of this king is Brahmadatta. King Brahmadatta of Benares was extremely fond of hunting. Luckily for him, on the outskirts of the city was a huge forest. Can you see the forest? Forest means jungle, right, children? And what does outskirt means? Outskirt means the outer part of a city or a town. Okay, now let's have a look on the third picture. Okay, can you see there are so many deer in this jungle? So the forest was filled with deer. Among them, there was a mighty stag. So, this is the male deer. Okay, children. And mighty means powerful. So, the stag was very powerful and smart too. Okay, next. One day, King Brahmadatta went for hunting with his courtiers. He told his courtiers, if you allow even a single deer to escape, I will punish you severely. So, children, your King Brahmadatta, he went for hunting with some of his courtiers. Now, what does courtier means? Courtiers are the person who are present in the kingdom. Okay, so he told his courtiers, if you allow even a single deer to escape, I will punish you severely because king wanted to hunt the stag. Now next pic you can see what the courtiers are trying to do. They made a circle. Okay, they made a circle and the courtiers began to beat sticks on the ground to frighten the deer hiding in the bushes and to make them run. See, children, whenever anybody go for hunting, the hunter goes for hunting, the animals want to save their life. So they hide here and there. So what happened, children? The courtiers began to beat the stick on the ground, and because of the noise, the deer can be frightened and they will come out of the bushes, and so that king can hunt. Next picture. Okay, in this picture you can see the stag came out of a thicket. As the stag saw king, standing in the way, he dashed towards him. The king shot an arrow but missed the mark. Now, children, what does thicket means? Thicket is an area full of trees, bushes, and they are grown closely nearby each other. Okay, so as the stag saw the king standing, he dashed, means he hit with the great force to the king and he ran away. And immediately the king shot an arrow. But what happened? Because the stag was mighty, very powerful, and smart, the king missed the mark. Next picture, children. The stag has excellent instincts and was good at dodging arrows, whether shot from the back, front, or even by the top, as the arrow was aimed towards him. Okay, as I said, the stag was mighty, means very powerful and smart too. So what happened? He has excellent instincts. Now what does instincts means, children? Instinct is something inborn quality in you that happens very naturally. You doesn't need to learn it. So, because the stag has excellent instincts and he was good at dodging. Now, dodging means to move quickly here and there and to avoid something. Okay, so he was very good at dodging arrows. Whenever arrow used to come towards the stag, he used to run, he used to dodge here and there and roll up or jump up. Okay, now next. The stag pretends to jump, roll, run, and when the danger has passed. So what that stag used to play the trick? It used to jump or roll here and there, and then as soon as he finds that the danger has passed away, the stag used to run away inside the forest. Okay. See Yes, next image. Can you see in this picture what the king is doing? He's trying to shoot the stag with an arrow, bow and arrow, children. So, whenever the king shot an arrow towards the stag, what did that stag do? The stag rolled over and suddenly jumped up, and king every time missed its mark. So, what happened, children? Every time, what was happening? Whenever king was aiming, the stag used to roll over and jump here and there suddenly, and king used to miss its mark. Now, here, when the courtiers realized that the king had been mistaken, they started to laugh. They started to laugh at the king because every time the king was missing the mark, he was not able to hunt the stag. So, after some time, again and again, when the king was missing the mark, the courtiers started laughing. Next, as king was an excellent marksman and could not bear the taunts of the courtiers, he grabbed his sword and set off into the forest to catch the stag. Now, children, because king was an excellent marksman, every time he used to hunt very nicely to the mark. But this time he failed. Why? Because the stag was very smart, powerful. Okay, so what happened? Because the courtiers started laughing at the king, he was not able to bear the taunts. Now, what does taunts means? Taunts is to try to make someone very angry or upset by saying some unpleasant words. Okay, children. So he grabbed his sword. You can see sword in his hand. This is the second weapon the king is using. Okay. Now next, in this picture, can you see something strange? Okay, I'll read it and then you will understand, children. The stag came upon a hole in the ground that was covered by rotting tree and filled with slime. From the distance, it could smell the dirty water, and carefully he ran from a side without falling into the pit. Now, what does pit means? Pit means a hole. Now, children, you can see this hole here. Okay, in that pit, there was slime. Now, slime means what, children? Slime is an unpleasant, thick liquid substance. Okay, so because that pit, that hole was covered by rotting tree, and because of that dirty water and rotting tree, the Stag could hear the smell of the dirty water. So, as soon as it came nearby the pit, it understood that there is a big hole and it is stinking very badly. So, he ran from a side without falling into the pit. Okay, now can you see this picture? I'll read it, children. After a while, the stag realized that the king was not following him any longer. He understood that king had perhaps fallen into the pit. So, when the stag was running deep inside the forest, what did he realize? He understood that now the king is no more behind him. Okay, so what the stag realized? He understood that king had fallen into the pit. And you can see inside this hole who is fallen? The king. Okay. Next picture, children. Look at this picture carefully. Okay, can you see the stag? Yes. So the stag went back to the pit and saw the king struggling for his life. The stag decided to save the king's life, even though the king wanted to kill him by hunting. So, children, yes, as our lesson's name is Noble Stag. Noble means I told you, noble means kind. So the stag went back to the pit, and what did he saw there? He saw the king was fallen into the pit, and the stag decided to save the king's life. Next picture, children. You can see in this picture, the stag told the king not to worry. He then caught a huge rock with his hind legs and lowered himself into the pit. Now, here, as I said, the stag was smart also, powerful also. So, what he did, as he decided to save King's life, what he did? He caught a huge rock with his hind legs. Now, hind legs means what, children? See, there are four legs of the stag. Yes, two are in front, two are at the back. So, the two legs which are at the back, they are called hind legs. So, children, what did the stag do? Stag whole day, he caught a huge rock with his hind legs. And what he did? He lowered himself into the pit. So now what happened? Next is, see here. Can you see the king? Yes, he's trying to hold the stag. Yes, children, the king caught hold the stag's neck and stag climbed out onto the level ground and carried the king to safety. So the king holded the stag's neck, and what he did, he tried to come out of the pit, and then king saved his life. Okay. Now in this picture you can see king also and you can see stag also. The king thanked the noble stag again and again. You know why? Because the noble stag saved king's life. And here the king asked him to return with him to Benares, where he could have anything and everything he wanted. So the king said, the stag. So you can come with him to Benares and whatever he needs, he can get it there. Now let's see whether the stag is going along with the king or not. No, but the stag did not want anything in return of help. And he said he will not be coming with the king. But he requested one thing to the king. He requested the king to rule wisely and be kind to all animals. Okay. And then what did the noble stag do? The noble stag then disappeared into the forest. King Brahmadatta then vowed not to hurt or hunt any animal. So, what did King Brahmadatta do? He promised to himself that from now onwards, he will not hurt or hunt Any animal. Thank you, children. Okay, did you like the story? Very nice, isn't it? Very interesting. So, children, look here. Big or small, be kind to all. So, proverb itself says you should be kind to everybody. Here, now this story, I'm going to say you in short. I'll just explain you this story again in short. Okay? Yes, it's a very nice story. Okay, fine. Now again I am going to say you this story, narrate this story. So children, there was the king and his name was Brahmadatta and he was very famous king of Benares. So children, he was very much fond of hunting. One day he decided to go in the outskirts of his town where there was forest. So what he did, he took some of his courtiers and he went inside the jungle. Now children, that forest was very much famous of deer. Deer means deer is an animal, right? So now, yes. So children, what happened when the king went along with his courtiers? Anyhow, he wanted to hunt any animal there. So he decided and he warned each and every courtier that you are not going to allow any deer to escape from there. And if you will do so, I'll punish you very severely, children. So now what happened? When the king warned these courtiers, the courtiers decided, they planned and they formed a circle. They formed a circle and they started beating their sticks on the ground. Now, when they started beating sticks on the ground, what happened? Suddenly, from their bushes, out of those bushes, there came out a stag, and the stag started running out from there because the stag understood that now king is going to hunt. So to save his life, he came out of the bushes and started running deep inside the forest. But there was no way to escape because all the courtiers formed the circle. There was only one way where the king was standing with the bow and arrow. So, what did that smart, mighty stag do? He dashed towards the king and he jumped up, rolled up, and he ran deep in the forest. So, every now and then, when the king was following him and trying to shoot the stag, the stag was so powerful and smart that he used to roll up, jump up, or he used to dash the king and he used to run away immediately. So now, children, every time the king was missing the mark. So, what happened, children? The courtiers started laughing at the king. So, what did the king do? He was so angry. He literally grabbed the sword. Sword is the weapon. So, he removed the sword and he started following the stag in the jungle. So, when the stag was running, and he was looking behind at the king, suddenly what happened? He started smelling something very dirty. What was it, children? There was a pit. Now, pit means a big hole, and there were rotten trees and leaves fallen inside that pit. And because of the water, everything was rotten inside and it started smelling. Now, you know one thing, children? Animals have got a very good sense of smell. So, children, the stag understood there's something. So he saw the hole. He saw the pit there. So what he did? Yes, because he was smart, he went from a side and he ran away. After running a while, what did he see? He saw behind that king was not following him. The king was not there behind him. And the king was hunting. Yes, he wanted to hunt the stag. Then suddenly he realized that king must have fallen into the pit. Now, what happened? Firstly, the stag was running, but then because stag was noble, very kind and generous, he decided no, 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 he will save the king's life. Even though the king's intention was to kill the stag, but stag was like, king, no, the stag was very kind and generous. That's why our story name is The Noble Stag. So, children, the stag went back to the pit. What did he see there? He saw the king was fallen inside the pit and he was struggling for his life because in the slime he was not able to come out of the hole. So again, this smart stag, what did he do? He holded with his hind legs a stone nearby. Okay, and then he lowered himself in the pit. Now suddenly what happened? Because the king saw the stag is trying to save. So the king holded his neck and he came out of the pit slowly and steadily. And like this way, who saved King Brahmadatta's life? Yes, children, the stag saved. Animal saved human's life. So, children, the king became so thankful and so happy that again and again he was saying, thank you, stag, for saving his life. Because now the king is safe and secured and fine, he said, Stag, please come to our city, Benares, and there, whatever you want, whatever you need, I will provide you. So you come along with us and stay in our Benares city. But where is the home of the stag? The home of the stag is in forest. So the stag said, no, I will not come with you in the city, but there is a humble request. There is a small request. He said, king, that please be wise and kind towards animals. So the king was very much happy and then he promised to himself that from today onwards he is not going to hunt or kill any animal. Isn't this a very interesting story? So, children, from this story, we learned that whether you are a human or an animal, you should be kind towards each other. Okay, children, come on. Very nice. You all listen to the story? That's a very good thing. Come on. Now, children, we will do activity. Okay. Now, children, can you see this flower and leaves? Isn't it nice? Come on, we'll do one activity now. Okay, this is flower and these are leaves. Now, as this is the story of Stag, we are going to write some words which are related to stag. Okay. Stag. Nice, right? Now, children, I'm going to ask you some questions. If you can answer it, well and good. Okay. Come on. Children, can you read this word? Yes, this word is forest. Now tell me, children, yes, where does the stag live? Stag live in Benares city or stag live in forest? Forest. So first point is stag lived in forest. Okay. Next question. How was the stag? What was the nature of the stag? The stag was noble or not? Yes, the stag was noble. Right. The nature of the stag was noble, means kind and generous. Yes. Next, children. The stag was very smart and had extreme instincts, right? He was having some inborn quality that he was very mighty, right? So the stag had extreme instincts. Okay. Now, children, last word to complete a flower to decorate it. Did the stag saved the king's life? Yes or no? Come on, tell me, children. Did he save the king's life? Yes or no? Yes. The stag saved the king's life. So our answer is yes. Okay, children. So here we completed our flower. Okay, with stag and its qualities. Okay. Now, children, next. This story is about stag and the This story is about stag and the king. Can you see this word, children? King, right. So now we are going to write something about king. Okay. So here is our king. Fine. Now I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to answer it. What was the name of the king? Come on, children. What was the name of the king? Tell me. Who can tell? The name of the king is Brahmadatta. Right. Very good. Very good, children. Good. You all are participating. So, the name of the king was Brahmadatta. Now, children, next question. Where was the king lived? The king lived in the city Benares. Okay. So I'm going to paste it here. So king lived in Benares city. Okay. Next question is, the king was very much fond of what? He went to the jungle to hunt. So the king was very much fond of hunting. Okay. So here I'm going to paste it. So king was very much fond of hunting. Very good, children. Very nice. You all are answering. Now, what was the first weapon the king used to hunt the stag? What was the first weapon he used? Can you name it, children? No, sword was used second time. First time was bow and arrow. Yes, children. So, bow and arrow was the first weapon the king used to hunt the Stag. So very nice. Did you like this activity? So we learnt about, yes, so we learnt about stag and king. And you all answered it correctly. Very good, children. Now, children, again, I'm going to share screen with you all. And children, I'm going to explain you very short meanings. Okay. Now, children, lesson number 32, the noble stag meanings. Outskirts, the outer parts of the city or a town. Courteous means the person present at the court of the king. Thicket means an area full of trees and bushes growing closely together. Dash, to hit with great force. Instinct is something you don't need to learn. Inborn way of behavior or thinking. Next word is dodging. Dodging is moving aside quickly to avoid an arrow or something else. Marksman. Marksman is a person who can shoot very well and proper to the mark. Taunts. Taunts are to try to make someone angry and upset by saying unpleasant words. Grabbed, to take suddenly. Slime is an unpleasant thick liquid substance. Intention, what you plan it purposely. Okay. Now, children, another very small activity, and then we are going to wind up. Okay. So now, children, can you see this? One and many. So we are going to write some words. Okay. One and many. Children, if there is one particular thing or name, we write it like this. But if we want to write many, if there are many, so sometimes we add S, sometimes we add ES, and sometimes we add IES. Okay, children. So first word is one king, many kings. Very good. So I'm going to paste it here. Second word is bush. Second word is bush. So answer is bushes. Correct. Very nice, children. Next word is city. So the answer is cities. Okay. Next word is horse. So answer of horse is horses. Okay. And lastly, children, arrow. So the answer of arrow is arrows. Okay. So children, did you like the lesson? You all learn it. Children, you all read the story. It is very nice story of King Brahmadatta and the stag. So children, I wind up my session here only. Be safe at home, children. Okay? Very nice. Take care of yourself, children.
Bye, teacher. Answer.
Bye, miss. Bye, miss. Bye, bye,
Bye,
bye.
teacher.
Bye,
Bye,
miss.
bye, bye.
Bye, miss. Bye, teacher. Bye, miss. Bye, bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher. Miss, I like to you.
Answer. कैसे पता
Thank
चलेगा?
you. Bye, teacher.
मैम होमवर्क. Bye, teacher.
Bye, miss. चालू हो गया ना 5 मिनट चालू होगा. बाय बाय मिस. चलो बाय बाय.
Bye, 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 teacher.
बाय बाय टीचर. बाय टीचर. बाय
Bye,
टीचर.
miss.
बाय बाय टीचर. बाय
Bye,
बाय. मिस आई लाइक टू यू.
End of the line, there are question answer that you're
leave.
going to
Time
explain
हो गया.
first.
ओके मिस.
Now, we are going to use this mark. We are going to use sanitizer also, children, when you go out. Okay? Take care, children.
ओके मिस.
देखा जाएगा मीटिंग में करना है.
देखो.